Now that you all have gotten your emergency food, how do you store it? Well, today I'm going to explain to you how you store your food for long-term use. Stay tuned. Welcome to Step by Step Farming. I'm Yvonne, where here on this channel we try to help empower you all to be able to have a more self-sufficient lifestyle and to take more control over your life. Today I am going to share with you all how to store your emergency food. Now, I've had a lot of questions. A lot of people have said, I've got a bunch of rice, I've got a bunch of beans, I've got a bunch of grains. So what do I do and how do I store my food for long-term storage? So today I'm going to share with you all, I'm going to do a very short tutorial on how to store. For example, I have a large bag of rolled oats. Rolled oats are a good thing that you can store for long-term use. Some of the things are beans, rolled oats, rice. Those are things that a person can be sustained with for long-term if that's all they had to eat. So today I'm going to share with you just a few things that you're going to need to get started. You're going to need, first of all, a 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to be showing a 5-gallon bucket, and you're going to want to have a sealed tight lid to go with this. Now let me explain to you, this is a really nice food grade. You want to make sure that the bucket is food grade, and I'm explaining to you why. A lot of times if you get Home Depot buckets or buckets from your home improvement store, they will leach out, chemicals and things like that if you were to store your food in that. If you get a bucket that is food grade, it is specifically designed for food. So you want to make sure that you look to get food grade buckets. Now, food grade buckets can be extremely expensive, and if you all are like me, I try to do things on a budget. So I'm going to give you a couple of different things at the end of the video. Stay tuned to stay, and I will share with you all how you can either get these buckets for free or at a very, very, very cheap price, okay? But anyway, you want to have your 5-gallon buckets and a lid. You want to have a mylar bag. Now this is, I don't know if you all have ever seen any of these before. They come in a bunch of different sizes, but this is a mylar bag, and this is 18 by 28 inches. This is more than enough space to fit into a 5-gallon bucket, and it's probably overkill on my part, but I want to make sure that I have plenty of room, and I'll share with you all how to do that. You also want to have oxygen absorbers. Oxygen absorbers are very important to put into your 5-gallon bucket because it's going to do what it says. It's going to absorb the majority of the oxygen. Now, there's 4 things that can really destroy your food if you store them in a 5-gallon bucket. So before you all just start throwing your food in there, let me explain to you what it is. Light. Light will destroy your food. Bugs, pests, they will destroy your food. Moisture will destroy your food, and also oxygen will destroy your food. So you want to make sure that when you're storing your food, those 4 things you want to eliminate. Now, a story that I've had is we've stored food previously in the past in a 5-gallon bucket. We did not put it in a mylar bag or anything like that. And it was not in kind of a cooler place. It was a little hot. The temperature was very hot. And when we went to go and open up, we had stored like some grains or something in there. When we opened up the bucket, it was nothing but bugs, and it was weevils. And we had to basically toss everything out. We couldn't use it. So all of that hard work that we had to store our food up was all wasted because of pests. So you want to make sure that is a big thing that you want that you do not want to have in your food. So let's go ahead and get started. Why do you want to do this? Because number one, you never know. It's just all about emergency preparedness. You know, you never know if there's going to be a natural disaster. Something could happen in your area, and it could be the lack of power. I don't know, whatever it is. You have food stored, and also it could be food shortages. We're all hearing about food shortage this and food shortage that, and so you want to make sure that if anything ever happens where the grocery stores don't have enough to sustain everyone in the area that you live in, that you and your family are prepared. And, just kind of as a side note, as you're storing food, you may want to even possibly think about storing a little extra for, it could be extra family members or close friends or someone that you know and trust that, may not have as much as you do, that you may want to welcome into your home. So you might want to just go ahead and have a little extra for that. But today, let me just go ahead and show you how we're going to go ahead and get this taken care of. Okay, so, and you're going to want a permanent marker because you're going to want to mark on the outside of your bucket when we're all done. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So you want to get your bucket. I have some grain right here, or actually it's rolled oats. Here's your food grade bucket, and I've already cleaned everything out, so it's nice and clean. Now, let me also explain to you another good reason why you want to have a food grade bucket is, sometimes you can say, well, I really don't need a food grade bucket because, if it's stored in a mylar bag, then it's really no point. But you can always reuse this. Once your food is gone, you can maybe fill this with some water. You just never know what kind of food you're going to want to store in this. So it's just always best. I got these mylar bags from a place called Discount Mylar Bags, and they're approximately $2 a piece. I got 10 of them, so it cost me somewhere around $20. But this I really like a lot. I don't know if you all can see this, but it has it's a Ziploc. It's a mylar Ziploc bag. Some of them come this way and some of them don't. And I like this because if you ever open it up and you need to get food out, you can always seal it back. Okay, so we're going to just basically place this mylar bag inside. And I'm going to take both of my hands and just basically I'm going to, I don't know if you guys can see. I'll show you in a second when I'm done. You're going to want to press the sides open in the bottom as much as possible. So I don't know if you all can see that. You're going to have to kind of spread it out a little bit. And then that way you can make sure that everything, is all kind of nice and... All right. So we've got that right here. All right. Next thing all you do is very simple. You just take, if you have, right here I have rolled oats. And I'm going to pour the rolled oats into my bucket. Okay, so I'm going to show you all what it looks like so far. Like I said, I mentioned you're going to kind of want to shake it a little bit. I don't know, it's a lot of stuff flying around, but you want to make sure you kind of shake it a little bit so you can get it all inside. Okay. All right, so that's probably really about as much as I am going to get in there. The next thing you're going to want to do is get your oxygen absorber. Now, a very important note is when you get an oxygen absorber, you're going to want to have 2,000. Let me sit down here so you all can see. You're going to want to have 2,000. It's called cc, but you're going to want to have at least 2,000 cc for a 5-gallon bucket. Okay, they sell oxygen absorbers in different sizes. Some of them are 300, 500, 700. If you can get an oxygen absorber specifically for a 5-gallon bucket, then you're going to want to have at least 2,000 cc. If you don't have 2,000 cc and all you have is 300 or something like that, then you just want to put in like 5 to 7 of those 300 cc's in here. Okay. Also, another very important note. Now, I got these. There's 15 in a pack, and I got these from Pack Fresh USA. And let me also share something else with you real fast that is very important. If you are able to, it's really important to get an oxygen absorber that is individually sealed. Okay, these are individually sealed. So if I tear one, it's just one. Some of them come in like a big bag. And if you open up the bag, then all of those oxygen absorbers are going to go into, they're going to be instantly activated. And that's not what you want. So if you do have them and they're in a big bag, then you want to put them in like, you want to kind of airtight them in like a can jar or something to that effect. But I would very strongly suggest that if you're able to get them individually, just get them that way. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. This is what it looks like right here. It's just an oxygen absorber. Okay, it's already probably started activating. And I'm just going to put this on top, and I'm going to zip up my mylar bag. And I'm going to get as much of the air out as possible. And all I'm doing is just folding this over this way. Okay. Now with the Ziploc bags, or with the Ziploc mylar bags, it's not enough for me to just zip it up and leave it alone, because I want to make sure that there's absolutely no air that's going to get into this bucket. So what you're going to need to do is, if you have a flat iron for like your hair, I've seen people on YouTube, they don't have one of these, but they may use an iron, and they will seal this up. And I'll be right back, and I'll show you guys how to do that. All right, we're back, and now I have my flat iron. This just makes it very functional and easy, and able to do this very quick. So as I showed you before, this particular mylar bag that I have does have a Ziploc bag. Not all of them are like that. Some of them don't. So it has one of the notches, the notch on each side where you tear it. So when you seal it, for me, what I'm going to do is I have to make sure that I seal it above the notch. All right. So I'm just going to take the flat iron, and I'm going to start right here at the end. And I'm just going to go across. I'm going to try to go across very quick, slowly, but doing plastic is not the same as doing hair. Okay. So this should, let's take a look at it real fast. Set this down. I'll just set it down right there. Okay. So I don't know if you all can see this close up, but basically it just melted the edges, and that's what you want right here. And that is pretty much all you have to do. The last thing you want to do is, I would put what it is in here. So for example, this is going to be rolled oats, and then you want to put the date, and then we're going to just put the lid on it. So I'm going to just put 4/6/22, And then that way, when you open it up, you'll know what's in there. Okay, so, and I'm just going to kind of let that show. Now, if you also want to, for example, if the bag was empty, you can fold the bag up and stick it on top. And then that way, when you open it up, you can also, you know, that helps you to see what it is. Maybe if there's some special instructions on how to cook whatever it is. And then, since we're going to seal it up. And then, last thing is we're going to label it on the outside the same as we did on the bag. So you just, whatever it is, if it's rice, then you put rice, or beans, whatever it is. You put the date and what it is. And pretty much there you have it. It's that simple. Now, let me go ahead and share with you. Thank you guys for staying to the end. I want to share with you, once again, these buckets are super expensive. If you go to the store, they're like, I don't know, $7, $8 a bucket, maybe not even including the lid. So there's a couple places that you can go and find either free food grade bucket or extremely, extremely cheap. Number one is go to your local grocery store that has like a bakery. It could be a Walmart or a grocery store. A lot of times they will have these buckets, and some even a little bit smaller, and they're icing buckets. And a lot of times they just toss them, or they'll recycle them back to wherever, and they just don't need them anymore. A lot of times they'll give it to you for free. And so the other place you want to try, we got these from Sam's. You may try Sam's, might try Costco, or whatever type of kind of like a large wholesale place like that in your area. Call ahead, call the bakery, ask them if they have any 5-gallon buckets that they're, you know, willing to give away. These only cost us $2, and that's including the lid. And now that's a super great deal. So I hope that this was helpful. I'll be doing a video on how to do the same thing with rice, but I just wanted to share this with you all. I really hope that this was helpful. If it was, please put a thumbs up and share it with a lot of other people, because a lot of other people also have the same question. They don't know how to really store their food. You can put these in a corner, stack them up, maybe 2 or 3 high. They don't take up a lot of room. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I will also put the place where I got the oxygen absorbers and also the mylar bags in the link as well. All right, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Bye.